In Module 4, Lesson 33, we're going to extend our problems from equations to inequalities. So starting with example 1, just a review, what value does the variable have to represent for the number sentence to be a true statement? And what value does the variable have to represent for the number sentence to be a false statement? So in reviewing, we know that if y equals 10, that will be a true statement. And then, if y equals anything but 10, so for example, 11, it is no longer a true statement. In y plus 6 is greater than 16, there are many values that would make it true. For example, 11, if y is equal to 11, 11 plus 6 is 17, which is greater than 16. On the other hand, if y is equal to 10, 10 plus 6 is equal to 16, which is not greater than 16, so that is false. There are many other values that would also make it false, but in order for it to be true all the time, y will need to be greater than 10. Sorry, greater than 9, because 10 will not make it true, so greater than 9. And any value that is 10 or less will make it false. In C, if y plus 6 is greater than or equal to 16, y will need to be greater than or equal to 10. And that will make it true. Whenever y is less than 10, it will be false. For 3g, 3 times g equal to 15, to make it true, g must equal 5. And that is the only value that will make it true, whereas any other value will make it false. For example, if g is equal to 1, that's false. For 3g to be less than 15, then, g needs to be 5 or less. And any other value, if g is greater than, actually 5 has to be, I missed that. G has to be less than 5 in order for it to be true. And if g is greater than or equal to 5, it would be false. And in our last problem, if g is less than or equal to 5, the statement will be true. And if g is greater than 5, the statement will be false. So then in example 2, he asks us to check and see which of the numbers make each equation true. So what we'll do is substitute each of the values for the variables in the question and then state which ones will make it true. If m is 0, 0 plus 4 is not equal to 12. 3 plus 4 is not. 5 plus 4 is not. 8 plus 4 is. So m can equal 8. 10 plus 4 is not, and 14 plus 4 is not. If our inequality is m plus 4 is less than 12, then m can equal 0. 0 plus 4 is less than 12. 3 plus 4 is less than 12. 5 plus 4 is less than 12. 8 plus 4 is equal to 12, so that doesn't work. 10 plus 4 is 14, and that is not less than 12. And 14 plus 4 is 18, which is also not less than 12. So only 3 values make that inequality true. In C, we have f minus 4 is equal to 2. So f, if we subtract 4 from 0, we actually get negative 4. That's not true. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 5 minus 4 is 1. 8 minus 4 is 4. 10 minus 4 is 6. 14 minus 4 is 10. And so there is no number in this list that makes this equation true. On the other hand, if we have f minus 4 is greater than 2, f can't be 0, can't be 3. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 5 minus 4 is 1, which is not greater than 2. 8 minus 4 is 4, and that is greater than 2. 10 minus 4 is 6, which is also greater than 2. And 14 minus 4 is 10, which is also greater than 2. In E, 1/2 times h, 1/2 times 0 is 0, and that's not equal. 1/2 times 3 is 1 1/2, not equal to 8. 5 times 1/2 is 2 1/2, which is not equal to 8. 8 times 1/2 is 4, which is not equal to 8. 10 times 1/2 is 5, which is also not equal to 8. And 14 times 1/2 is 7, which is also not equal to 8. So there are no values that make that equation true. On the other hand, if we are looking at the inequality 1/2 times h is greater than 8, 1/2 times 0 is 0, that's not greater than or equal to. 1/2 times 3 is 1 1/2, not greater than or equal to. 5 times 1/2 is 2 1/2, not greater than or equal to. 8 times 1/2 is 4, which is not greater than or equal to 8. 10 times 1/2 is 5, which is also not greater than or equal to. And 14 times 1/2 is 7, which is still not greater than or equal to. So in this case, the inequality is not true with any of the numbers. So we'll practice then using another set of numbers and different equations. M plus 5 equals 6. Hopefully we can pick that out very quickly. And 0 does not work, 5 doesn't work, 8, 11, and 17 also do not work because it's an equation. It has a single number answer. M plus 5 less than or equal to 6. M could equal 0. 0 plus 5 is 5, which is less than 6. And M could also equal 1, because 1 plus 5 is 6, which is less than or equal to 6. The other values, 8 plus 5 is 13, 11 plus 5 is 16, and 17 plus 5 is 22, are all greater than 6, so they do not satisfy the inequality. 5h equals 40. Well, h will equal 8, and there is no other answer that will make that equation true. 5 times h greater than 40 however, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 5 is 25, 5 times 8 is 40, which is not greater than 40. 5 times 11 is 55, and that is greater. And naturally, 5 times 17 would also be greater than 40. So in the equation 1/2 times y equals 5, we know that y would have to equal 10, and that is not in our list, so there are no values that make that equation true. And if 1/2 times y is less than or equal to 5, 1/2 times 0 is 0, which is less than 5. 1/2 times 1 is 1/2, which is also less than 5. 1/2 times 5 is 2 1/2, which is also less than 5. 1/2 times 8 is 4, which is also less than 5. But 1/2 times 11 is 5 1/2, and that is not. And of course, 17 times 1/2 is 8 1/2, and that is also not less than 5. If k minus 3 is equal to 20, k would need to be 23, and we don't have 23 in our list. So there are no other values that would make that true. And if k minus 3 is greater than 20, k should be greater than 20, or greater than 23, because 23 minus 3 is 20. And of course it has to be greater than that. And we don't have any values in the list that are greater than 17, so there are no numbers in the list that will make that true either.